This is going to forever change the landscape of college football. What up, YouTube? Today we're going to be talking about the College Football Selection Committee. It seems that they're going to be under investigation by the Florida Attorney General, who pretty much is issuing subpoenas to the committee in regards of Florida State's non-selection into the college football playoff. Now, I don't know what this could in fact result in. I don't know if this could possibly result in an overturning of the decision and put Florida State in and keep or put Alabama out. Because never before have you ever seen an attorney general from any state say, you know what, we got to look into this to see if this was even a valid thing. And it's supposedly they're supposed to be putting back over $1 million just to dedicate to this investigation. And basically what they're alleging is trying to see if there was any relationships that the committee has to where, okay, we put Alabama in, it could turn into more ads being shown depending on the team that's in the playoff or less, just to try to see if ESPN had anything to do with the selection committee's choosing or decision making into leaving Florida State outside of the playoff and selecting Alabama in the playoff. Now, this kind of makes you think, what if this actually does turn up something and it does find evidence that maybe there was somebody caught having their hand in the cookie jar, so to speak, to where now they may have to make a decision. And I'd hope they make a decision within 2-3 weeks, because that's when the playoffs will start and will run up till January. I think like the first full week in January is when the national championship game is. And you go from there. It kind of makes you think, can they overturn a decision like that? Can they say, you know what, Alabama, you're not going to be in the playoff, and Florida State, you will be? I think that's going to cause a whole shitstorm online. I mean, it already has. I didn't think it was going to go this far. We knew Florida State fans and faithful would take issue with it, but for it to go this far, to be made a legal issue, a political issue at that, it's unprecedented and something I didn't even think was going to happen. But it kind of makes you think, it starts to set this dangerous precedent of, oh, you're going to have multiple lawyers or multiple attorney generals from different states moving forward wanting to look into the selection committee's decisions on including or excluding certain teams from the playoff. And then you got to think about the reaction. If this doesn't go through, and this is coming from an LSU fan, by the way, if this goes through and Alabama is told you're not invited to the playoff anymore, you can't come to the party, I promise you Tuscaloosa is going to be on fire. And I'm not even trying to be funny. I think fans down there in Tuscaloosa are very crazy and very diehard. It could turn into a whole riot because of something like that. Now, I don't think they would have did such a thing if they was never selected in the first place. But if they were to be kicked out and replaced by Florida State, that's going to cause a lot of people to be upset. Now, if the goal of this investigation isn't to kick Alabama out, I don't see the point into trying to get an investigation ongoing. I guess for a precedent moving forward, but next year we're going to have a 12-team playoff, and I think they're going to give leeway to teams with 2 losses and exclude teams who have 3 losses on their resume. So if they're doing something like that to kind of be like for the future of the sport type of thing, I guess, but it's like, if it don't result in Alabama being kicked out, then what would be the point besides what I just said? And if Alabama does get kicked out, it's going to be a mess in Tuscaloosa. It's going to set up a dangerous precedent moving forward. It's going to tell every other attorney general that's part of the Power 5, they're going to question the legitimacy of these selections. And for that matter, can you even have a selection committee anymore? Or do you just replace the whole committee and just put people in that you know can make the right decision? Because I think it would be better, if, assuming this is true, to get rid of the whole committee, have it completely disbanded, and adopt an NFL-like system where they go off your record and just be like, well, what's your record? And you'll get in or you'll get out. And have like a type of format where you got the playoff picture, the division leaders, the ones who are in a wild card slot or have secured a wild card slot, and a in the hunt type of thing. And they could have all these different scenarios, like if LSU wins, then they're in, or if the only way Alabama could get in is with a a Michigan loss, that type of thing, instead of just having a whole selection committee altogether. Now, some people could argue we should have never had a committee in the first place, and a part of me would agree, because for the most part, up until this point, we've never had a selection committee have this much controversy. Now, it would have still been controversial either way if you had left out Texas and had Florida State in, Alabama in, but left Texas out, or if it was a case of Alabama's in, but Florida State and Texas is out. You can get the picture. Like, it was going to be a mess either way, but to be such a mess it goes up to the highest order would remain to be seen. I just hope that they know what they're doing, because if this goes through, this is going to forever change the landscape of college football. But y'all let me know what you think about this in the comments below. Till next time, I'll catch y'all in the next video. Peace.